Diary entry number 2, Whispers of the Past. The city lights have become my guiding stars. As I blend into the crowd, my red hair a fiery beacon amongst the mundanity, I realize I've become addicted to the dance of life and death. The high from my encounter with Ethan has begun to fade. I find myself yearning, craving that intoxicating thrill again. Yet, the haunting image of his horrified expression tugs at the edge of my consciousness. I decided to distract myself by getting lost in a nearby display of crystal and glass. Amidst the bustling downtown art exhibition, surrounded by a myriad of colors and shapes, my attention was unwaveringly ensnared by one piece in particular, a seemingly delicate glass bird, poised and ready for flight. Each feather intricately designed, every curve of its fragile body holding a story of its own. It beckoned me closer, its almost ethereal beauty promising an escape from the gnawing void within me. Just like me, it seemed trapped in that moment between stillness and motion, uncertainty and decision, life and death. Next to it, almost blending into the background, was its creator, a woman with a name tag that read Clara. She had a soft aura about her, with eyes that held depths of emotions akin to the fragility of the bird. Her posture spoke of strength, but the subtle tremor in her fingers as she adjusted a stray strand of hair whispered of vulnerabilities she tried to mask. Her gaze met mine, and in that fleeting moment, a silent understanding passed between us, one that hinted she too had danced on the edge of darkness and had stories buried beneath her calm exterior. Being around Clara felt like stepping into another realm, one where vulnerabilities were not hidden but celebrated, where scars became stories and fragility was a strength. It was as if I had crossed an unseen threshold, venturing deeper into uncharted waters, sensing both danger and allure. While in a trance, mesmerized by the intertwining mirror reflected back at me in the sculpture's gaze, hours had passed. As the last person left, Clara invited me to stay and keep her company while she closed up her studio. Clara's studio was a sanctum of dreams, a place where the tangible met the intangible, and raw emotions took shape in crystalline form. Sunlight streamed in from a skylight, bathing the room in a golden glow and causing 1,000 reflections to dance off her glass creations. It was as if I had stepped into a world suspended between reality and fantasy. As I wandered through, each glass creation seemed to breathe, echoing tales of love, loss, hope, and despair. Some were sharp, with jagged edges that hinted at pain and tumult. Others were smooth, with curves that spoke of comfort and solace. The studio was a reflection of Clara's soul, every piece a fragment of her, every corner filled with the essence of her journey. And then, in the heart of this realm, my gaze landed on a glass frame, exquisitely crafted with intricate patterns that spiraled towards a single photograph. A young man with familiar eyes, the very same eyes that had once looked upon me with a mixture of fear and disbelief. It was Ethan. The realization hit me like a tidal wave, drawing the breath from my lungs. The room, which once felt vast and expansive, seemed to close in, the weight of the revelation heavy in the air. Clara, sensing my unease, moved closer, her fingers gently tracing the contours of the frame. She spoke, her voice a hushed whisper, of a love that had once been intense, consuming, yet tragically short-lived. They had been lovers, two souls intertwined in a dance of passion and vulnerability. The studio, once a sanctuary of art and emotion, now became the backdrop of a dark inner turmoil. The vibrant hues of the setting sun cast long, haunting shadows on the walls, painting the room with an eerie melancholy. Clara's voice, previously a soothing melody, now seemed distant, its cadence echoing the profound sadness of a tragic sonnet. Guilt, an emotion I had often eluded, began its relentless siege. It slithered into the crevices of my mind, its venomous tendrils entwining with the very fabric of my being. The faces of Ethan and Clara, their stories, their love, played out like a haunting reel, challenging the core of who I believed myself to be. Yet, the insidious allure of my darker desires refused to be subdued. The room, filled with delicate glass creations, presented an opportunity. a method to quell the rising storm within. My fingers grazed one particular sculpture, its cool surface contrasting with the burning conflict inside me. It was as if the piece beckoned me, urging me to embrace the very essence of who I was, to act without restraint. And in a moment that felt both eternal and fleeting, the weight of Clara's secrets and my own intertwined desires culminated in a singular, devastating act. Using the very embodiment of her artistry, Clara's truths and vulnerabilities were silenced forever. With a swiftness that belied the gravity of the act, the glass piece found its mark. The studio, which moments before echoed with our shared history, was now filled with the deafening silence of finality. Clara crumpled, the life force ebbing from her, her once vibrant eyes now dimmed. The aftermath was a chaotic blend of shattered glass and spilled secrets. The beauty of Clara's artistry lay, juxtaposed with the brutal reality of her end, creating a scene that was both tragic and eerily poetic. This kill, unlike any other, bore with it an intimate heaviness. The dance of darkness, which I had so often reveled in, now bore the weight of personal connections and conflicting emotions. The tapestry of our lives, once separate, now irrevocably interwoven, painted a scene of complex hues, a blend of passion, regret, and an insatiable hunger for control. Days later, the city was abuzz with whispers of Clara's untimely demise. News of the tragic accident reverberated through familiar streets and unfamiliar alleys alike. Walking into the solemn space of her memorial, the thick air was laden with grief. Soft, mournful melodies played in the background, underscoring the profound sense of loss. Every face I encountered wore a mask of despair, their eyes shimmering with tears, the weight of the void Clara left behind evident in their hushed conversations. Overheard snippets of discussions pieced together the growing suspicions. Mourners connected Clara's loss with Ethan's mysterious circumstances. Whispers became louder, speculation turned into theories, and a web of interconnected tales began to emerge. With each connection made, a tightening knot formed in my stomach. My heart raced with anxiety, a stark contrast to the slow, sorrowful cadence of the memorial. The realization that my web of secrets was unraveling threatened to engulf me. With every murmur that linked Clara and Ethan, the shadows of my past loomed closer, threatening to expose the truth I had so desperately tried to keep hidden. In this sea of mourning, I found myself at the precipice, teetering between the world I knew and an impending reality where my darkest deeds could be laid bare. The challenge was no longer just about self-preservation, but about navigating the labyrinth of truths and lies, ensuring my journey's dark chapters remained concealed from the prying eyes of the world. My diary morphed from refuge to testament, chronicling my inner evolution. It captured a dance between power and vulnerability, a delicate balance of dominance and doubt. Looking in the mirror, eyes deeper from tales untold hinted at newfound confidence and hidden scars. The once black and white world now revealed shades of gray, nuances I'd once ignored. However, embracing my actions' weight, I sought mastery over this complex dance, striving to harmonize power and fragility. I will continue my exploration,